Go ahead, Brad.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Brad?
Doing great. I guess obviously a strange year this year to get prepared. Tell us a little bit about some of the challenges in getting started and what you're looking forward to the most.
Yeah, it's definitely been a strange year. I think probably one of the biggest challenges is what these players have done over the last few months is getting prepared after being away from the game for a while, and then trying to stay healthy. We're getting tested often, and these guys are doing a great job. And we talk about, they can do everything right, and still they may pick up something, and it kind of throws everything off. So. But I'm really proud of how they've acted, that they've given up to, for the team, and they've done really well. So all of us are nervous every week as we get tested because you just don't know how it may change. We've had a few in quarantine, and that's set a couple of players back, not being able to train for 2 weeks. And so those things are definitely challenges that come along with this. But everyone in the league is in the same boat. We've already had some teams not be able to play this weekend due to issues they had. So it's just kind of how the season is. And I think we're going to, as we've talked about as a team, we have to understand some things that might be out of our control, but we've got to have a good attitude and do everything we can to continue forward and try to put ourselves in the best position each week.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, Shelley, you just mentioned you had some players in quarantine. Is anyone not available for Sunday?
No, we're all available.
Go ahead, Mitch.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for doing this. With all the uncertainty that has surrounded this season, obviously you guys would have usually been kicked off by now, but just what is the vibe with you in the program right now? Obviously, finally getting to this point, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel after all the hoops and hurdles you guys had to get past to get to this point for Sunday.
Well, I think you probably hear it better from the players. I think they've been living this and are very excited to be playing someone else beside themselves. And like I said, they've given up a lot. They've really dedicated themselves to being ready to go. They want to play and have a season. And I think it's kept everyone very focused and determined and together. And despite the challenges, they've really come together as a group and work together to get to this point. So the fact that we can actually go into this weekend to finally play someone and know that we'll be playing for some championships by the end of the fall is very exciting for all of us. And they're thrilled to be able to, step on the field this weekend.
Go ahead, Brad.
Coach, obviously big shoes to fill in goal. Have you just made a decision yet there?
Yes, but I believe Marnie's got to discuss that with the players, so I'll let her announce that. But yes, we're at a point, a lot determines, obviously Michaela was difficult or will be difficult to replace. We've had some tremendous goalkeepers in the program and expect out of these new players too by the time they leave. And they are young, and we're going to have to rely on some players that are young. We had to do that with Mick when she got here. So, they're very quality goalkeepers, and I think the decision was a little bit harder this year than it has been in the past because they both are the two that are competing right now for the starting role are similar in some things, but they bring different pieces to the game. And so how we play and what we need to get out of a game and what we need to expect and what the opponent's going to send us or what we're going to face from the opponent is going to determine what we do with goalkeeping as of right now.
Go ahead, Greg.
Hey, Shelley, thanks for doing this. I was just kind of curious with the fall season being what it is and the unique structure maybe moving forward in the spring, does that change how you guys approach this season at all or how you approach training, anything like that?
Due to the spring season?
Yeah.
Well, they had to take time to come back in this summer. So they, they had to get ready when they maybe missed a development, some time to develop in the spring and build some strength that normally we would have had built up. But they've all done a lot on their own. I think they did a great job to be ready to go when they got here in July. And so they had to do things in clusters and do things in smaller groups. But we've had more time than ever to train for our first game. We've had the longest preseason we've ever had. So we've been able to catch up on a lot of areas and make sure they're ready to go physically and mentally and tactically. They have things that they've been able to work on. So we've been able to focus for a while now, and they're definitely ready to go. Just been able to be a little bit more patient than we normally are, trying to fit things in to prepare for our first game.
Mitch, did you have another question? Go ahead, Brandon, then.
Shelley, can you talk about, you guys were projected to finish second again this year, and also kind of how the standings are going to work for the tournament this year, given, last year you guys went undefeated in the conference, but yet we're the third seed because of the way the standings worked.
Yeah. Well, first off, the preseason poll is rarely correct. I think we've proven that over and over that, we've won a conference. We've never been put as one. But the fact that we are put in a position now to be continuously one of the top 2 or 3 in the conference says a lot about the program. And for us to go forth and prove ourselves as number 1 several times, it says a lot about the team. And that's where we're at again this year. We're more concerned about the poll at the end of the season. And we want to put ourselves in position, yes, to be number 1. But last year we obviously missed out by a couple goals, even though we're undefeated. And that's the way the SEC tournament works. If you win the East, you get the first or second seed. Same thing, you get the West. So those two teams will take the first 2 spots in the conference tournament. That's how we ended up in 3rd last year. So we did not win the East, but we had more points technically. So it was tough. We want to be in the top part. We want to get buys in the tournament. Every team will be going this year, the SEC tournament. So all 14 teams will be ranked. So we want to put ourselves in the top of that list so that we do get to wait a little bit to play. That's the goal. But it's a goal every year for us to try to win a championship. And along the way, rankings will fall the way we prepare every game, and we focus on each game to try to get there.
Go ahead, Brad.
And Coach, with the Zullo sisters now, we haven't said that before, but with Luch and now her younger sister here, talk a little bit about both of their games and how the recruiting went. Did you recruit the younger one, or did Luch go after her for you?
I guess it was a combination, because obviously you get some good help from a family who is in the program and we have a good relationship with, and it just becomes natural that maybe you look where your sister's going. And for Karina, she's very similar to Luch. They talk the same. It's like they're twins. They're just a few years apart. And it's funny to see, when she's come in, how far Luch has grown, and we're excited about where Karina is going to be going to. I think, Luch has been a big part of the program, and she's grown every year. And Karina, it's wonderful that she wants to play with her sister. I don't think all sisters want that and want to follow in their footsteps. And I think it's a complete respect that they have for each other. And Karina's her own person. Luch is often lending a hand as well to help her. So it's really a neat dynamic to watch. And we know Karina is going to be another great Zullo for us for the years to come.
It looks like I don't think we have any more questions for Shelley, so you guys can definitely ask questions for Anna and Luch. Shelley, if you want to stay, you can, but if you don't want to, if you're busy, you can hop off if you'd like.
Okay, are you sure?
Yep, that's fine. If you're fine, if you're good. So.
All right, thanks, you guys.
All right. And Brad, you can go ahead and ask your first question for the players.
All right, Lucha, let's start with you. With your senior year, do you feel like you have to take on more of a leadership role? And if so, what does that mean?
Yeah, I definitely think that being a senior, I have more of a leadership role on this team now. And for me, I think I'm more naturally kind of a behind the scenes, more quiet person. So being put into this leadership role has forced me to just be more communicative with everyone on the team and with the freshmen, and making sure everyone is kind of on the same page and feels welcome here. So.
Go ahead, Mitch.
Anna, for you and for you too, Luciana, if you want to answer this. Stone Stadium going to be a little bit reduced this fall. You used to it being packed out. What's that going to feel like? Are you just kind of satisfied that or happy that you're going to at least have somebody in there? It's not just going to feel like a regular practice or scrimmage?
Yeah, I'm grateful that we're going to have some form of fans, because I honestly wasn't expecting that when I came back here. I thought it was just going to be empty. And I trust in whoever will be there to make a loud noise anyway, and they'll be supporting us and they'll be cheering us, and it will still feel like a home advantage. So I'm really looking forward to that first home game at Stone Stadium.
Go ahead, Brad.
Luch, again, with your sister on the team now, what's that like for you? Tell us from your perspective, were you heavy in recruiting her? What's it like having your sister as part of the team and on campus with you?
It's been great. I mean, she's my sister, she's my best friend, but having her here has been just a whole different experience than we've known before. So recruiting wise, I might have been in her ear a little bit. I think I've just had such a great experience here. And I know that she will be able to thrive and grow, not only as a player, but as a person as well here. But actually, when she was being recruited, Jamie didn't know that she was my sister, and was actually at her game watching another player and was like, "Oh, who's that?" Looked at the roster and was like, "You're kidding me." So it's good to know that she was looked at as her own person and not just as my little sister when she was being recruited. So, but it's been great having her on the team and watching her grow every day.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, Anna, can you kind of just talk about what both Heather and Taylor kind of bring to the defense?
Yeah, sure. They're both, I'd say like Shelley was saying, they're very similar, and like big strengths that they both have is their shot stopping. Like in training, we love a good little shooting drill where balls are, shooting all over the place, and then they pull out some like exceptional saves, both of them. And they're both, because they are new, it's like they're getting used to their roles, but they're both really good learners, and I feel like they've been great listening to what I'm saying to them and what Marnie's coaching them, and they've really come on even in these like last month and a half. So yeah.
Go ahead, Brad.
Luch, back with talking about you and your sister playing together. Were you guys always competitive with each other growing up, and are you still that way now? What's the relationship like, and has it changed?
I think we've definitely always been competitive. We have not raced in a while, which is something that she, I think, wants to do. But we've always competitive, but we've always been very supportive of each other. And we played a year together in high school soccer in New Jersey, and that was so much fun. Being on the field at the same time, where I think here might be a little bit different. Being on the field at different times, maybe a little bit at the same time. So it'll definitely be interesting, but it is interesting competing with your sister for playing time. That is something. So.
Well, as a follow-up to that, what kind of advice, if any, have you given her this year? And I don't know, maybe you remembered stuff you wish someone had told you when you were a freshman. What have you done in that regard to help her make the jump to college life and to college soccer?
I think definitely just staying in her ear and telling her to be positive and be confident in what her abilities are. So, and that's something I wish I was told as a freshman, like just be who you are and be open to like advice from upperclassmen, from like your coaches. Like they see everything and they know what's best. So just telling her to just really take in everything that she's hearing and try to use that to better herself.
Go ahead, Brad.
Anna, for you, what's it like now taking on, I guess, more of a leadership role with the defense? Is that more pressure for you? Tell me how that's going.
It's different, but I wouldn't say pressure. And even if there is some, like, that excites me as well. Like, I feel like I thrive under pressure. So I'm enjoying being more of a leader role. And I feel like because I have been here for a year now and I know what the coaches want, I can pass that over to the freshmen and underclassmen who are like stepping up into big roles. And then it's also just like great forming those relationships with them and like seeing it come to fruition in training and everything. And like, yeah, it's good when they're doing good. It like makes me feel good and everything. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm helping them and they've all been great at like stepping up, definitely.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, Anna, can you talk a little bit about what it's like for you adjusting to another new center back, and this time it's not Grace, who you've had a bit of a relationship before, just kind of someone completely new and who you're unfamiliar with?
Yeah, it's very new for me. I feel like all throughout my career, whenever I have played centre back, I've had like a really good relationship previously with whoever I'm with. So it's been new, but I think forming like that relationship off the field is also just as important, so that we can communicate really easily with each other in a game and we don't feel like I want her to be able to talk to me and vice versa, just like get out what we need to get from each other in the game. And that's definitely improved since we've been here together. So yeah.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, my bad. I just forgot to lower my hand.
Oh, go ahead, Brad, then.
Luciana, for your senior year, it seems like 4 years or 3 years have gone by really fast that you're already a senior. What kind of goals have you set for this year, and what do you see as your strengths going into your final year in terms of how you've progressed as a player?
I think I've definitely come a long way since being a freshman. I cannot believe I'm a senior already. But I think that coming into this year, it's a little bit different. We don't have our out of conference games and we won't have a postseason like NCAA tournament. But for the games that we do have, I think a goal I've set for myself is just to be someone that my teammates can look to on and off the field and have confidence in during games, and just to be a threat on the attack and just continue to keep growing as a player. So, yeah.
Do we have any more questions? Doesn't look like it. So we will wrap it up here, guys. Thanks for everyone joining today. And I have this recorded, so I will also put it online as well. So if you guys missed anything or want to check back, you can come back and check it out. But otherwise, thanks for coming, everybody.